Good day, everyone. Or should I say, Guten Tag. This is Jerry from Rhapsody Tours. In today's podcast, we are going to take a look at German spas. Now, no one knows exactly where the word spa comes from, but there are two main theories. One is that spa is an acronym for a Latin phrase, salus per aqua, or health through water. Others believe the origin of the word spa comes from the Belgian town of Spa, known since the Roman times for its baths. They speculate that the town was so prominent that the very word spa became synonymous in the English language with a place to restore and be pampered. Modern spas have their roots in ancient towns famed for the healing powers of their mineral waters and hot springs. Travelers would come to take the waters and restore their health. The practice of bathing in hot springs and mineral waters dates back to the Babylonians and Greeks, but was probably done before that. In the 19th century, Europeans' great spas were destinations for the wealthy, which again went there to take the waters. Water treatments are still considered the heart of the spa experience in Europe. Germany has a long history of spas and wellness. Romans appreciated the hot mineral springs at Baden-Baden, and at the beginning, Europe's royalty and other aristocrats would meet at the great German spa resort towns. You can still have a taste of the life they enjoyed at spas like the Mediterrana in Bainsberg, very close to the city of Cologne, one of the top spas in Europe. The reason I mention the Mediterrana, except for a Turkish bath in Istanbul, which is not the same but totally unique, this is the first European spa I had experienced. Now, if you have never been, you should know there are a few differences between North American spas and German spas. Germans are not as uptight as us North Americans when it comes to nudity at the spa. In German spas, the saunas and steam baths are co-ed and nude, and before I went for the first time, I was told it was very easy, if you're relaxed. There are etiquette rules in place to ensure that all guests have a pleasant, safe, and relaxing stay. For example, there is no film or photography equipment permitted. Having traveled for a living, I considered myself somewhat worldly, and expected my first visit to a German spa would be just one more of my many travel experiences. What I did not expect to occur was the nervous factor. My wife and I arrived at the spa mid-morning, and were welcomed by a long line of patrons spanning every age group imaginable. We headed to the change room, and I was surprised to see there was only one door. I did find out later that if co-ed changing was not your thing, there were other rooms, but you had to search them out. I changed quickly and threw on my robe and slippers. One of the rules of the spa is that you wear a robe or a towel while walking around the common areas. Before going into any of the spas, we decided to check out the facility. One of the first sights I encountered was an 80-year-old man walking out one of the spas in his full glory, and behind him, his wife. At first I was embarrassed and looked around to see if anybody else was taken back by this sight. Then I quickly realized that not only had nobody noticed, nobody cared. Throughout the day I saw bodies of all shapes and sizes, and realized in a very short period of time that I'd stopped seeing the bodies, but instead, people. I had mentioned when we arrived that there was a long line, but once inside, it did not feel crowded at all, and felt very serene. The spa itself was incredible. There were a number of different themed spas and wellness creations, arcades, gardens, massage and beauty areas, as well as dining establishments. During one of the relaxing times between spa visits, my mind began to wander, and I realized how jaded we are in North America when it comes to the human body. On television, any given night, during prime time hours, we can not only see people shot and blown up, but also the autopsy to find out the cause of death. If, however, there is a hint of a naked body on during that same time period, many people will not only get bent out of shape, but complain to the show's sponsors. It makes me wonder how we got all our priorities screwed up. We come into the world naked. We should not be embarrassed about our bodies. We tried 5 or 6 different spas that visit, swam in the outdoor pool, lounged in the whirlpool, and ate a gourmet meal. During the meal, we wore our robes and sandals. We spent most of the day there, and I have to admit, the time flew by. At the end of the day, I felt invigorated and totally refreshed. My mind was at ease. When in Germany, I will not say that visiting a spa is something you should consider. Instead, I am telling you that it is something you must do. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. If you visit www.rhapsodytours.net and click the Explore Germany link, and then the German spas are co-ed and nude link, you will find a very funny story of an American lady's first visit to a German spa. Oh, it's definitely worth the read. As you can see, I have included the website to the Mediterranean. But when you open it, as of the recording of this podcast, you will see the English page is under construction. If you are curious, just use the Google Translator and you'll get the idea. If you would like more travel ideas or information about Germany, subscribe to the podcast or visit us at www.rhapsodytours.net. That's RHAPSODY tours.net. Or you can reach us on Facebook at the Explore Germany page or on Twitter at Rhapsody Tours. If you have any comments or suggestions, we would love to see them. Well, that's it for today. Next, we're going to take a look at the German language. Until then, have a wonderful day. The Traveling Kilt podcasts are a division of RhapsodyTours.net.